Okay, so The Hidden. How do we want to begin this discussion of this film?
Well, I guess we should say what it is about.
Yeah, well,
Like give like a quick little synopsis.
one of the fun things about this film is that you don't know what it's about. Like, and then once you realize what it's about, it gets kind of exciting. And the way that it works is that the film opens, and it's security cam footage from the inside of a bank, and you see sort of people in this sort of low resolution black and white video, kind of doing their doings at a bank, and credits are rolling, and then all of a sudden a gun shot is fired, and everyone hits the deck, and there's a guy in a trench coat, and he's robbing the bank, and he's shooting everybody up, and then he shoots the camera, like shoots towards the camera, and then all of a sudden we're out of that low resolution black and white video, and we're into the normal film of the film. And yeah, this guy's fucking running amok. He shoots a security guard. He shoots just a civilian. He's got a bag of money. He jumps into a fucking black Ferrari. Yeah. And, hey, guess where we are? We are in West Hollywood, and we're driving a Ferrari down the streets at very high speeds and being very, very reckless. And the cops are on the scene, like in their cars, and they're chasing this guy. And immediately we're in this like crazy crazy car chase. So why don't you go ahead and take it from there?
Does he like as soon as he leaves the bank, he hops into his car and he immediately puts on some like hardcore metal music.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I really like about this movie is that that's a really good soundtrack, and I also just like that that this character, this guy, we'll find out later that it's actually like an alien, but the alien that is doing all this stuff it's only interested in like hardcore music, sex, and money,
and violence,
and violence and power, and just like everything.
Also,
everything
food.
Bad.
Also, food. He likes eating.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just all these sort of these are usually like human desires, but it's just funny that this alien creature is just like, that's all it wants.
Yeah.
It just like hops into this. Also cars. It loves
Ferraris. Yeah.
So it loves fast cars, fast food, fast women, and
fast living,
fast music. And so he puts on like this hardcore metal cassette, and he just takes off. Doesn't he hit somebody with his car like almost immediately leaving the bank? I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't really remember either, but I'm going to go ahead and
yes. It's the great like silent movie trope of two guys walking across the street with a plate glass window. and then the car just like, okay, what's going to happen next, but it's still funny. He really takes out those two losers,
right?
And
workaday losers.
Yeah, and amazing footage of 80s LA. There's lots of MacArthur Park, lots of shots of downtown LA. And and then like a whole chase happens. Cops start chasing him through LA. It's a really well done chase scene as well. Like
the movie opens up like shockingly strong. There's like all sorts of different steps to the chase scene. Like he's going through a tunnel, and he's being pursued by cops. So he kind of like knocks his car into one beside him, and what they do is they actually show the woman, like they give kind of like a close up of the woman who's driving, who's just she's just thinking, okay, I'm just driving to wherever I'm going. They didn't have to do that, they didn't like. I think that's so smart to do that, just to kind of just show how the emphasis is just that she's completely innocent. She has no clue that anything's going on, and this guy has no regard for that at all. He's just like fuck you, and he just goes and he smashes into her. She goes spinning out, and it causes the cops behind her.
There is something to, when you see a car chase and you just see like cars zipping around and crashing into each other, but like when you actually see who's driving a particular car before you take them out,
yeah.
like it adds to the weight of the chaos and violence that's happening.
Yep, absolutely.
It adds an emotional weight.
Absolutely. Any kind of, I say that's true, like with all kinds of violence. If you spend even just like a moment with the person, before the violence, even if it's just like, they get one line or maybe not, maybe you just get to sort of see them, before the thing happens to them, it really helps to make the violence more powerful, like hurt a little more, if that's what we're going for.
So the big chase, and then there's like a moment where our main star,
someone who looks a lot like Chris Sarandon but isn't Chris Sarandon, Michael
Nouri, who he's actually very good in this. But he's not like I think he's more well known as a TV star than a movie star.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might have been on like Knots Landing, or something like that. Because his movie resume is like, this is probably the height of his movie resume.
Yeah.
But they have like they try to create this roadblock and to stop the bank robber, and he's coming at him like full speed ahead with his Ferrari, and they're all like aiming their guns at him, and then they just start shooting at him, but he's still coming full force, and they all get out of the way as soon as he just kind of like crashes into their cars, and then he peels out. Car crashes into like a tree or something, and I think he like gets out of he survives the crash, and he gets out of the crash, and then they do they shoot him a couple more times, or they
light him up, like all of them shoot him, like he gets shot like 15 to like 20 times, but not before laughing, getting out of the car,
right,
kind of looking at them, laughing, and then getting shot up. And let's not forget also the part where he runs over an invalid in a wheelchair who's out on some sort of constitutional.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was terrific.
Right.
That's like the second wheelchair injury in a movie. The other one was Vigilante. Wheelchair accidents.
The guy just gets kind of like tipped over. And then he's just like, "You all right?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm okay. Go get that guy. Go get him."
So then we just cut to this guy. He's in the hospital, and the doctor is like, "Yeah, he's not going to make it." And Michael Nouri's like, "Good." And the doctor is like a bleeding liberal cuck, and he's just like, "Oh, he doesn't. No one deserves that." And then they list like this guy's got a rap sheet a mile long. He's killed and mutilated.
Were you saying? Let me ask you a question. Like,
go ahead.
When did you start saying "cuck"? Were you saying "cuck" like 15 years ago or 10 years ago?
Like 15 minutes ago.
I know, but yeah, okay. I'm just because like
I don't know. I'll have to check my journals and see. I don't know.
Everyone's saying "cuck" now. Like, I mean, all of a sudden, everyone's just gotten on this bandwagon and saying "cuck" like they've been saying it for years.
All the cucks will be like offended and we'll have to stop saying cuck. So
that's not the way shit works. That's not the way shit works anymore.
If you told me 20 years ago that retard was going to be like, people were going to get mad, I would have been like,
oh, give me a break. You see, this is how behind you are. Retard's back, dude. You can say retard again.
Oh, I know that now. My comic is called Retard.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, so then what are you bellyaching about? You're like, I can't even say retard, and you're like, making money.
No, but like it was like the fact that it for like a hot second, it became like, yeah, you can't say this anymore, And if you use that word, especially if you use it online, you get your account taken away or the post taken down.
Right. Remember when like it was really hard to hear, or it was very, very rare and insane even to hear a swear word on TV. Like if like I remember the Simpsons one time, like Martin, the nerd character, Martin Prince was it was in the episode where they're making the soapbox racers, and he has like a soapbox racer that has like a like a parachute that comes up because it goes so fast. It has a parachute to slow it down, but it won't deploy. And he's going, "Deploy, damn you, deploy!" And I remember like that was a big deal. Like when we were kids, we were like Martin Prince said, "Damn," we were like we were super like shocked by the fact that they put "damn" in the show, or like stuff like that. But now it's like politicians are like saying
pussy.
They're saying pussy and fuck and cuck and shit and and it's just like holy shit, like everything's. I don't think that things are getting more. It just depends on your perspective, I don't think that like things are getting more touchy feely. I think that you can kind of just do anything now,
No, I mean but I mean from like 2020 to like 2023 or 4, there definitely was there was a vibe here that if you said certain things, you would be removed from society.
Well, I hope that
you'd
didn't
lose your account. You're not going to get a job.
I hope that didn't traumatize you too much. I hope you made it through those hard times.
I made it through. I mean, clearly I'm here.
There you are.
But it did traumatize me.
Excellent.
But I don't think it's it's not, I mean, you're off there in the middle of your little paradise island, so you don't really get a sense of what it's like over here. But there's still it's still here. Like it hasn't gone completely away.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think there's factions that have like doubled down on it. I think especially it depends on like if you're working in an artistic field, I still don't think like it's like, oh yeah, now we can do all those things that we weren't allowed to do or say 3 or 4 years ago. I don't think that's happened at all.
My experience with my very limited experience, admittedly, working in LA, I found that like everybody who's like actually working, like actually like a grip or a PA or a crew member or like anybody who's like, kind of actually doing work on a set, gaffer, they're all very like, not only are they not, for lack of a better term, like woke people, they're very right-leaning people generally.
Right.
Which is bizarre because they're all union people too, I
mean, remember when we were trying to like pitch daycare around and like the problems that these people would have with aspects of the script that were, coming from that side of the aisle.
Well, I don't know about that actually. Like I think like if we're going to talk about this, I think it's like it was some of it was a logistical thing. The fact that like, okay, we have to have a kid in this movie, and also there are parts in this daycare where we're going to have to get a lot of kids, and that's just a fucking nightmare because there's all.
But that wasn't something that was ever mentioned. What they would say was like, oh, there's a rabbi who's at the peep show. Like we don't like that.
Oh, I cut that out. I cut that out pretty quick.
Yeah, see, look at you. You're just as woke as all of them.
I was trying to, dude. This is my strategy.
But the thing is the fact that you even felt the need to do that.
Give me a break.
That's indicative of what the problem is.
Look, I mean, listen. Let's be real about what sort of Hollywood, this little web of Hollywood power is. For me to cut out a rabbi and just replace it. And just put in the script. By the way, I took out rabbi, put in bearded man, and then And then what I was going to do is that on the shoot, I would just slip under the door. I'd make him a rabbi again. I'm not trying, like, I'm trying to, it's all a means to an end. I'm not trying to sort of kowtow politically.
I get that,
Yeah.
but I'm just sort of saying that that's what we're dealing with.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't think the movie was that audacious. I think that mostly it was just kind of, I mean, even when we talk to your friends, I guess just your friend Ronnie, the big contention, and I think I see where he's coming from. Is that there's a problem with sort of, like what exactly is the tone of the thing? Like, is it funny or is it scary? Is it that if it's scary, is it that scary? And I'm thinking, like, well, you just make it and you take it seriously, and then I don't know, whatever it is, and then. But if I were someone who had to pony up money and to fucking put my name on the line, and that's the answer I was getting, I'd be like, well, these guys don't even really sort of know, like, they're not really thinking in terms of like a business plan. They just kind of have this idea, and like, I don't know. I still think that there's, and then then Weapons comes out, and all of a sudden, like, there are sort of overlaps happening.
Exactly.
And then it's sort of like, okay, well, we can't.
But
really
I don't have a list in front of me, but I don't think Weapons is the first horror movie to sort of walk that line between horror and humor.
Oh, no. What I mean is the Weapons, just the idea of like, something mysterious is going on in a classroom of young children, and then it has something to do with sort of mind control and sort of weird
witchcraft,
that kind of things. Like, I
do think that there's this attitude whenever somebody looks at and this is, I guess, I don't know, hindsight, but it's sort of like, oh, we can't do this. We, fill in for whatever reason. There's kids in it. There's a rabbi in it. It's got suicide in it. It's got this. We can't do it. And then somebody does it, and then it's like, oh, I guess we can do it. All right. But we can't do it again. We're not going to do it again. But it worked here.
Right.
So it's complete horseshit. If something can get done, it'll get done. Like, whatever you think about the Fuck My Son movie, good or bad, somebody made it and it got made. Like, I never thought somebody would make it. Somebody made it. So these things aren't impossible. It's just like somebody has to have the foresight or the courage to be like, fuck it, I'm just going to make this.
Yeah. It really does it all comes down to just convincing people to give you money, and
sure. I know. And that's the worst part about the film business.
It's really the only thing. And people, you just need that one person to manage that, and to like, you need that one person who is like good at convincing an investor to giving money, but then also that same person has to be like 100, like, has to lock arms with the director, and has to, like, be completely on the director's side, and not be, not create sort of an adversarial kind of like bargainy kind of relationship. Okay, well, you can have this, but you have to get rid of this. It's like that sort of thing. It just ruins everything. It needs to be.
And I mean, for like, Todd, the director of Fuck My Son, like, he basically just had to do this all by himself for the most part.
Yeah. He
wasn't working for a studio. So yeah, the more esoteric the film, the more likely you just have to do it alone.
It is. I mean, if we think about sort of, Fuck My Son is a actually, wow, there's fuck in the title. Okay, first of all, that's kind of cool. Like, that's getting my attention. Fuck
Sure.
My Son is a great title. That I don't think anyone's clutching pearls or getting like most people that you'll meet who are development people, I think that's interesting to them. I think that would be interesting to them, you know, like, especially it's like, okay, well, what kind of budget are we talking about here? Oh, okay. You know, $500,000, $800,000, like under $1 million, you know, sounds like we could probably make the money back if it's that cheap to make. Then it's kind of like, the whole thing pretty much takes place in one location, right?
Absolutely.
And that's music to the ears of a development person, you know, someone who's putting some shit together, right? It's a fucking small project, you know, with just like minimal actors. It's all very much based on the script. There's a couple things here, you know, like some shit on the road. There's an opening thing in the beginning in a parking lot, but it's very, very manageable to put together. And then everything else just happens in one location. How many days was it shot in? Like 18 days?
It's like 3 weeks.
Okay. See, I mean, that's
give or take
3 weeks. That's how much time I had to shoot Crossed, by the way. 21 days.
But like prior to that, it took like almost a year for Todd to get the money together, which he basically did by himself.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
like what sort of like out there with hat in hand, like going to people and seeing if they wanted to invest in the film.
Yeah. Well,
you know, so because there was no studio involvement.
Yeah. No, I mean, I completely understand. He had to go to, I mean, you know, I mean, I have some people who say that they're a studio, but they're not really a studio. They're just shitheads who just are like, oh yeah, we have a studio, you know, whatever. You fucking file an you file an LLC.
Studio apartment.
Yeah, exactly. You file an LLC with a studio apartment address, and then it's like, oh, we're a studio. But I mean, the money just came from a private investor. And then, you know, the other film that I'm kind of like sort of working on now in the beginnings of doing, like, I mean, that money is coming from, you know, a group of fucking doctors who just have like a family practice business, you know, I mean, and my guy is just going and kind of trying to get money from them. There's been, you know, lots of small budget, productions that have been made over the years, just exactly the same way, you know, just getting, you know, money from some rich dentist who just kind of, you know, some guy's mowing his lawn, and then he goes out to give him a beer or something, and they start chit-chatting, and the guy says he's got an idea for a script, and he's like, oh, you know, how much is that? $600,000? Yeah, fuck, you know, sounds okay to me. Like, I mean, if you can get a good actor in it, then, you know, if that could star fucking Andy Garcia, I love Andy Garcia. If he's in that movie, then I'll fucking give you the money. Like, sometimes those kinds of handshake deals can happen on a guy's lawn, and that's how a movie gets made. Literally, that it can be as easy as that, you know? I'm saying,
like, wasn't it like an Ed Wood where like they were making Plan 9 or something, but they got like a bunch of money from like some religious revival people?
You'd know better than I would. I can't remember Ed Wood as clearly as I would imagine you can.
Like, I feel like that was part of it. Like they had to all like, there's a whole thing where they all had to get baptized.
Oh, right.
So like the whole crew has to get baptized.
That's vaguely familiar.
Like they don't want to invest in a movie where people aren't born again, baptized.
When we shoot in Taiwan, we have to pray before we shoot every day.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like it. You know, with the incense, we pray to the 4 cardinal directions. All I do is pray for the weather to be good, and for nothing dangerous to happen. They're very altruistic prayers. You know. Anyways, so the hidden it goes from so we got a liberal
diverging.
So we got a liberal cuck who's saying,
yeah. So the doctor, the liberal cuck doctor, he's just like, how dare you? What did you do to this poor man? And they list like every horrible thing. And I guess you can say he is an immigrant, a legal immigrant. So this movie does have a, you know, current social meaning. Mm-hmm. Just kidding. Just wanted to see if you were listening.
Yeah, no, I'm not actually. I just got a message. Sorry. All right, let's get back on track here. No one deserves.
So they think this guy's dead.
Let me do it.
He's All right, go ahead.
The guy goes, no one deserves to die that way. And he's like, and the guy's like, that man robbed, he robbed 10 banks. He killed 30 people. 8 of them he cut up with a butcher knife. 2 of them were kids. He did it all in 3 weeks. If anyone deserves to die that way, it's him. And then the CUCK doctor is left speechless with his stupid
his
CUCK
jaws
mouth
on the floor,
hanging open. Exactly. Then we go over and we see that our criminal guy is very badly burnt, and he's laying in a hospital bed, and he's sharing, left alone. I guess they just think that there's no way that he's going to get up, like he's in a coma or something. But he's left alone with just some other guy, some poor schmuck who's there for like fucking bowel surgery. And hey, guess what?
He had like a couple heart attacks, I guess.
Right. Guess what we learned? We learned that inside of the criminal's body is this very, very interestingly designed alien that's kind of a combination of like a bug and a weird like squid, and also kind of like, but it's kind of got like a carapace, kind of like a bug, like a beetle. I really love the design of that fucking alien, and it's got those translucent tentacles coming off the back of it, and
it's like a slug, squid, spider.
Yeah, and it passes from the one guy into the other guy, from the one actor into the other actor, and then the first actor falls on the ground dead, and then the other guy gets up and he escapes the hospital, and now the alien is on the loose. And I think that at this point we know that, okay, this is a science fiction movie, but what we don't know is still kind of like we don't really know what the motivation of this alien is. Like we still are not we still think that there's something bigger going on than this guy just likes to play around and just fuck shit up because it's fun.
Well, we get these little, because there's also these little moments prior to that, like where the cops are interviewing people about the guy, the criminal, the bank robber. It's saying like, I can't remember what his name is in the movie, but they're like, oh, do you know this guy, John Smith? And his neighbors would be like, yeah, what do you do? Rob a bank? Like he's just sort of a normal accountant or something, and so it's like this bizarre thing where it's sort of like, oh, this normal law-abiding citizen all of a sudden is going crazy and committing horrible atrocities and crimes.
Right.
Like, well, what's going on?
Right.
So they sort of like plant a little, those little seeds prior to
something's
us
amiss.
Seeing the transference of the alien from one body into the next.
Yes. Yes. Something's amiss. What's going on? Mind control, MK Ultra type shit, some sleeper cell activity. Is it possession, demonic possession? Who knows? The hidden, what could this possibly mean? I'm an audience member trying to put this all together. Then we get introduced at the cop station to Kyle MacLachlan. And
well, like all these cops think like, okay, case closed.
Right.
It's over. And then Kyle MacLachlan shows up, and he's all the cops are very fashionable in this movie. And I remember noticing that even when I saw it as a kid. They all have very nice suits on, very stylish. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't like big shoulder pad 80s suits. They were a little bit more progressive. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Kyle MacLachlan shows up. He claims to be part of the FBI, and he goes up to Michael Nouri and he says, "Okay, I'm from the FBI, and you need to help me find this guy." And he shows him a picture of the guy, the bank robber that they just caught and put in the hospital. And so Michael Nouri's like, "Oh, well, you can go get yourself a drink because we caught this guy this morning and it's over." And Kyle MacLachlan is like, "Oh yeah, where is he? He's in the hospital." "Okay, well, let's go. I want to see him." Mm-hmm. So that's when they head over to the hospital, and guess what? He's gone. Well, the original guy's dead, but then the other guy who the alien transferred into that body is gone. Kyle MacLachlan realizes this, and he's sort of like, "Okay, we got to go find this guy." And Michael Nouri's kind of like, "Huh? What do you mean?" And Kyle MacLachlan kind of is sort of, he's very cryptic, but he's sort of saying like these guys were in cahoots or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they were working together.
Yeah.
And so Michael Dory's like, okay, all right, well, let's go find this guy. And so they start looking for that guy. And so the next time we see that guy, the new face of the alien, he's in a record store stealing cassettes,
Mm-hmm.
which is a great, it's a great scene. That guy, this particular actor who plays the alien for the next, I don't know, 20 minutes is pretty good.
What I like most about him is that this guy has some kind of like bowel problem, so he's constantly burping and farting.
Yeah, he's got real health problems.
Yeah.
He's had like a triple bypass.
Yeah. There's a part where he sees a Ferrari. Like, I mean, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but he sees a Ferrari and he tries to chase it, and then his heart starts to like pound in his chest and he has to stop. He's limited by the
Oh, you should say he's chasing it on foot.
Yeah. He's chasing it on foot, and this is
He's not chasing it in his car.
I mean, he's chasing it like a dog, or literally like Grand Theft. This movie is once you put all the pieces together and you realize, and you ask, I remember the first time I saw this, I was like, is this movie just about kind of an alien playing a game of Grand Theft Auto in real life, but he's not following the mission. He's just kind of just having a little bit of like a chill, sort of directionless game, like directionless sort of playthrough of Grand Theft Auto, just to see how many cops you can, like how many stars you can get, like how many cops are trying to chase you. And then you realize that's what this movie is actually about. It's about an alien who just wants to play Grand Theft Auto in real life. And once I realized that, I was just like, I was so excited to see what would happen next, And
that's what I feel like makes this great. Like, that's one of the things that really stands out, because like usually these movies are about like, he just wants to take over the planet, or like there's some other like very important horrible thing that they want to do. But in this case, it's just, he just wants to cause chaos. And I know it, at the end, he's trying to become president of the United States, but more just so he could cause more chaos.
Yeah.
It's not like he him taking over the planet is just to enable that desire. It's not like a traditional alien, what the alien films usually, like, they just want to take over and make us their slaves. This guy just likes to party.
Yeah, exactly. He'd probably just, I don't know, like if you could become president in Grand Theft Auto, you'd probably just launch all the nukes. But then, that you're condemning yourself to sort of mutually assured destruction. Well,
it is also funny how horny this alien is too for human women,
right?
Like, he's like a fucking slug living inside a human shell. But like, there's those scenes where the guy's he sees like a half naked Greek statue, and he's caressing the breasts of the statue.
He's in before he sees that Ferrari, he's in like a diner, and he's eating just like steak and mashed potatoes and like frozen peas, and he's playing some, kind of whatever, like 80s.
Well, he steals a ghetto blaster from the record
store.
Oh,
right. He beat. Did we say already that he beats that guy to death?
No.
Okay, well, he beats that guy to death. He steals a ghetto blaster and then like a bunch of tapes, and he goes and posts up in a diner and just eats. And
he's sitting there eating with the ghetto blaster on the table.
Yeah.
And everybody just like giving him dirty looks, but he's just like, he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, no, he doesn't care. And then he sees a Ferrari running down the street, chases it down to the dealership. These two guys, I love these characters. Like, it's the dealership guy, and then this sort of like, like white suit wearing, sunglasses wearing sort of Guido guy. They go into the office to cut the deal for the Ferrari, and the guy's got Coke waiting for him and everything. Like they could have just made that a lot more boring, but they decided to make these guys both just kind of sort of scumbaggy types, you know. And then he's got
traditional '80s transaction,
right? Then he's got exactly.
That's literally that's how car sales went back in the '80s.
Is that true?
Kids,
is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Even if you bought, like, we're just buying a Corolla, you just walk into the office and there's a big platter of Coke.
Yeah, exactly. Or for a Corolla, they would just give you like a hit off, like a crack rock or something, or like give you a popper if you bought like a Miata. But so then he ends up like the dealership dude sends like his security guy, just some big black guy they have working there, to go get rid of him, and then our bowel surgery alien guy shoots him with a gun, then goes over to the office, shoots those two guys. I need the keys. They give him the key. Give him the fucking keys. Give him the fucking keys. Goodbye. And he shoots the guy. Shoots them both, actually.
Shoots them both. Yeah.
Yeah. Then he's driving off. He goes. I like this too.
But he cleans out. He takes that one guy's wallet,
right? And
because that's where he gets his business card.
Right.
He gets that guy's business card, and he has other business cards too for like strip clubs.
Right. The first place he goes to is he finds out this guy is an importer.
Right.
And he goes over and he manages to find a little bit of ballistics, some weaponry.
Well, clearly the import-export business was just to cover a front for gun running. So he's just got a huge closet he's got an arsenal in his in the back of his import business.
Mm-hmm.
So the alien is like, fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So he's got guns. And then we're...
But also we should probably say, like, every time the alien kills a bunch of people, then, like, that's when and then he leaves, and then the cops show up, and then they're kind of like trying to put the pieces together. Kyle MacLachlan, who's actually also very good as the sort of weird, because we don't really know what he is either at this point.
Right.
So he's just kind of like this weird FBI agent. In a way, it kind of is, it's a little bit of a little foreshadowing of what his role on Twin Peaks is going to be. Because he is like, he's always like very stilted, and sort of like a stranger in a strange land, kind of like doesn't really understand the human world.
Yeah, he gets drunk off of like a couple glasses
just
of wine.
one beer.
Oh, a beer, that's right.
Like he seems to be like struggling, like he's drinking the beer and he's sort of like, he doesn't know what to do.
Right. There's a scene, like, real quick, like, I've never made it through The Hidden Two. The Hidden Two, but one thing that I like about The Hidden Two, maybe the thing that I like the most about The Hidden Two, is that it's not Roman numerals, it's just the Arabic numeral 2. And you always know that the movie's going to be, like kind of like a shittier quality if they use like a number 2 instead of like Roman numerals. Anyways, all I'm saying is that's actually my favorite thing about the movie. The movie's terrible, but there is a part in it where like there's the Kyle MacLachlan character in The Hidden Two, like the good alien, is brushing his teeth. Like he's learning how to brush his teeth.
Yeah, like this.
He's brushing his teeth. He's brushing his teeth and he
cock.
With a cock, yeah. And he's just kind of like, it's supposed to be like this like, I don't know, like sort of this warm scene where he's having this human experience of learning how to brush his teeth, but it's like a girl is helping him do it, and it's supposed to be like this sort of warmth between the two of them, but it's the weirdest fucking thing ever. Like just this weird like brushing teeth scene. I'll find it and I'll send it to you later, but it's just like it's it's a pretty good indication of just the kind of movie The Hidden Two is. Like they can't recreate all the great stuff in The Hidden One. Is all of these amazing action set pieces and all this sort of stuff that costs money to do.
Sure.
Ferraris and closing off huge sections of West Hollywood to do car chases.
Right. Wheelchairs.
Hitting a guy with a wheelchair. I mean, hey,
the wheelchair budget is gone.
Look, hey, plate glass windows are not free, buddy. And then, so back to the original Hidden is that, or the next thing to talk about is how he ends up going to the strip club after, and then we see like this big beautiful lady stripping, and then and this guy breaks into the dressing room and transfers this alien slug into her, and so now the alien slug is this hot babe wearing a vinyl dress, and then she goes with this guy to because she's like, hey, you like cars? Because my car's over there. It's a Ferrari. They go over to the car. She fucks him to death, I guess. I wish they had shown that.
It's not a Ferrari.
It's not a Ferrari?
It's like a purple Cadillac or something.
Oh, is it? Fuck, sorry, man. I wasn't able to rewatch the thing.
I also want to say the woman's dress.
Yeah.
It's a vinyl dress, but then they make sure that because then as she's walking away, she's got like a peekaboo
butt crack
ass window.
Right.
Like the back of the dress has like this perfect window so you can see the top of her asshole.
Yep.
Which it's a great outfit. I just like that that's what the alien decided to put on.
Yeah, it's true. They make such a big deal out of him liking Ferraris so much, that I just assumed that he went into a Ferrari. But yeah, I haven't really had a chance.
Well, that's he's actually the guy that he's this sort of Chicano gangster dude who's across the street who's starts catcalling her, and she's looking to get back into the Ferrari that she drove there in. Mm-hmm. But the cop is like, get away from that car. That's part, it's part of the investigation. We know that the guy was here, and I mean, his corpse is in the strip club. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so that's when the Chicano guy comes over and he says oh, you like cars? I got a car. He's actually wearing this jacket that says Lamborghini on it.
Oh, really?
But he's like, yeah, come on, let me show you my car. You want to see my car? And she's like, okay. And next thing you know, you see them bawling in the car, but it's not a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. It's just like a caddy or something.
Right.
Like an old caddy.
What's funny is that, or not what's funny, but what's interesting is that I feel like there was a version, this is entirely speculative, but I feel like there was a version of the script where as a man, they wanted to show the alien having his way with women more often, but they kind of were afraid to kind of put their feet in that water, so they instead only have any of the sexual stuff happen when the alien is a woman. So and then having the alien fuck a guy to death, as a woman is a little bit more palatable to an audience, to a general audience. The stripper, by the way, is played by Claudia Christian, who we would later know her as one of the stars of TV's Babylon 5.
Substitute 3.
Is she in Substitute 3?
Yeah.
Oh. I know her from Babylon 5.
Oh, I never watched that show. I know her from Substitute 3.
She was actually born in Glendale, California.
Oh,
she's a Glendale resident.
She still lives here.
Maybe she does. Oh no, she died. No, I'm just joking. She's still alive. But anyways, that was a good joke. Anyways, so
good one.
Thanks. Yeah. So then she
You're like a Dave Chappelle.
So then they what do? They catch her. She's up on the roof. There's this whole thing where they
a big shootout.
They have a shootout, and like I think we learn at this point that like we have to get the alien to come out of the body in order to use.
Michael Norrie's like he puts like 6 bullets into her, and she's still walking, like doesn't even seem phased, and then he's kind of like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Right.
And then when they get up to the roof, he almost like the dumbass almost falls off the building. And then he sees Kyle MacLachlan like take out this weird alien device pointed at the stripper, and she flips out, and it's a great scene where she jumps off the building, but she jumps through a huge
letter
neon sign. Yeah, like it's sort of like she can't jump around it. She's just going to jump right through it.
Sure.
And yeah, she lands on the ground and she's dead.
Mm-hmm. And our alien ends up inhabiting a adorable little dog. Now it's in a dog
that belongs to one of the detectives.
Right. Then we're introduced to Chekhov's flamethrower at the police station.
Yeah, exactly. That was like, it's just like a 2-second moment at the beginning of the, like earlier in the movie where the black detective is like, "Hey, look what I took off of one of the, street hooligans today, a flamethrower."
Yeah. Well, you better put this away for safekeeping.
Yeah. So you're like, okay, that's coming back at some point.
Yeah. So then at this point, like, the high point of the movie is sort of over. And we have like some stuff in like in the little jail that they have in the police station. One of the
at this point, there's this whole thing where after she falls, and Kyle MacLachlan runs down there because he's sort of like, I got to get to her before anybody else does, because if somebody touches her or goes near her, they're going to get infected. And so when he gets down there, it's gone.
Right.
And he's like, who?
Yep.
Who is here? And they're like, nobody. So he's just like, fuck, dead end. He doesn't know who the alien is now. Meanwhile, it's in the dog, and the dog goes home with one of the detectives from the police station.
Right.
Why he's bringing a dog to a crime scene, to infect the crime scene, seems like bad policing, but that's what happened.
It's his emotional support animal.
But so the other thing was like after the stripper dies and the alien goes into the dog, and the trail of the alien goes cold, the Michael Nouri detective is like, arrest Kyle MacLachlan. So they arrest Kyle MacLachlan and bring him to jail, and that's when they find out that who he claims to be, he's not who he claims to be.
The guy who he claims to be is dead.
The guy who claims to be is dead. So they're thinking that he's a fraud or some kind of criminal. So yeah, they put him in jail.
Mm-hmm. And Danny Trejo's in jail.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. He's like,
yeah,
he says like 2 words and then he gets shot.
We can kind of wrap it up real quick. Like, honestly, like the rest of the film is not terribly interesting. Like,
I do like when the, after that cop, the dog infects his master, the police detective, and then that detective comes to the police station with the intention of killing Kyle MacLachlan. And there's a really good scene where they're having a shootout in the jail, and that cop comes around the corner with a bazooka.
Oh, right.
And then they shoot him in the head and just put a big hole in his head. Blood squirts out, and he's about to shoot him with the bazooka, and he gets shot in the head. He spins around, and the bazooka shoots like in the opposite direction, blows a hole in the wall.
Right.
That was really cool.
Right. And then hold on. And then in that's like the evidence room. And then they end up, he gets like the little weird gun out of that room or something. Am I completely making that all up?
That's earlier,
Oh, okay.
because I think he goes into the evidence room because one of the guys in the evidence room is fucking with it. And blows a hole in the wall.
Oh, that's right. So there's two holes blown in the wall. One hole is blown in the wall from the weird gun, and the other one is blown by the bazooka. Then, there's a little bit of like a foreshadowing done with there's a guy who's like running for office, or who's maybe a presidential candidate or something, that's mentioned like earlier in a very throwaway line, and then it's like, oh, okay, this guy's coming back. So then there's sort of this gala where this guy's showing up, and sure enough, that cop that the alien was inside has now passed it on to this guy. And then he goes up on stage and he's like, I want to be president. And everyone's like, yay! And then Kyle MacLachlan shows up and with Chekhov's flamethrower, blasts the guy with a flamethrower. The guy, there's a good burn gag, the guy in the asbestos suit.
Right.
Then he falls down, the alien comes out. Kyle MacLachlan uses that weird gun and, shoots like the laser beam at him, and the alien pop explodes. And then they what do? Do they fucking light up Kyle MacLachlan? They just shoot him.
Well, they're shooting him like as he's running into the room, because they think he's like some kind of hitman. He's literally walking into the room with a flamethrower in a bag.
Yeah.
So they're shooting at him, and he gets a couple bullets in him, but he's an alien.
It is funny. It is funny how he gets through security. He's just kind of like, "Hi, I'm press," and it's just like, "Can we look in the bag?" He's like, "Sure," and he just runs. He just sort of like elbows or shoulders his way through. Like he just gets through very easily into this thing.
Well, it's 87, so
yeah, true.
It was easier to get into stuff.
It was before the Patriot Act.
Oh, we should also say that prior to that. Or was it prior to that? Because there's a moment where Michael Nouri and
Kyle MacLachlan
are trying to kill the alien cop before he gets to the senator, and that's when Michael Nouri gets shot a couple times in the stomach, because that's what puts him in the hospital on his deathbed later.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kyle MacLachlan flamethrowers the alien, kills him like you said, and then the final scene is Michael Nouri's in the hospital and he dies, and then Kyle MacLachlan slips in and
Kyle McCock slips in.
He slips his McCocken into Michael Nouri. But it is funny how like his alien energy is all sparkles.
Well,
He vomits when he vomits into Michael Nouri's mouth, as opposed to a big disgusting squid.
Yeah. No, that actually is
It's like angel sparkles.
It's expanded upon in the Hidden 2. The idea, well, whatever. The point is that there's also like this sort of that dinner scene that they probably should be mentioned very briefly, where they they sit down and we did mention it when Kyle MacLachlan gets drunk off of a bottle of beer. But like they have this thing where he meets his wife and his daughter, and he has this very bizarre like interest in his daughter. Like, your daughter is very special. It's like, yeah, thanks. Okay, leave my house, please. And then and also one of my favorite parts is where the wife is like, oh, so where are you from? And he points up, and she's like, oh, north. And it's like, that doesn't mean north.
But I like how she's like, where are you from? And he's like, from?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where'd you grow up? Grow up?
Yeah. Yeah. What's your town called? And he's like Ras Allah. And it's like, oh, where's that? And it's like, oh, north? Like, it's just like this, the audience is just kind of like, yeah, we get it. We know.
The connection that he seems to create with the daughter, though, isn't really fully developed.
Yeah.
Like, it's just sort of like hinted, like there's some connection happening, but it's never fully explained.
But
you only get those two moments of him visiting their house, and him seeing the daughter, and then when he transfers himself into Michael Nouri's body and becomes Michael Nouri, she seems, and he kind of reaches a hand out to her and is like, "Oh, look, Daddy's better."
Yeah,
and she seems to be hesitant, like she knows something's up, but the last shot of the movie is like the daughter grabbing Michael Norrie's hand, sort of accepting the Kyle MacLachlan Michael Norrie hybrid as her new father.
Yeah. Well, what part 2 tells us is that the
I don't want to know.
I'll tell you anyways. The alien the bad alien and the good alien are actually part of the same race, but they were part of the like they took different evolutionary paths at some point. One being good and enlightened, and then the other one is more about base desires or whatever. Like right. And so it's basically we turned into like a bunch of like pure energy space goody two shoes police or whatever. And then the other ones are like a bunch of like slovenly criminals who just like listening to heavy metal and eating, diner steaks and mashed potatoes and driving cars fast and fucking putting on dresses where there's an ass window.
And becoming president.
And then becoming president. Oh, Johnny with the political stab there. Nice. Slovenly criminals. Yeah, like our current president. Oh, damn. Biting commentary. Anyways, how many eggplants do you give this film?
I'm going to give it 4.5. I mean, I first saw this movie when it came out, and I still like it. Like, it still is good.
Yeah, I know, right? I give it 4 only because like I really do feel like the best stuff happens with the first 2 guys, and then when it gets to the girl and it gets to like the detective and then the president guy, like I just like that a lot less, and it's just it's still a 4. Hey, yeah, it's still a 4.
I can see that. Like they're definitely in that actually is it's interesting because like that movie It Follows is similar in that like it's the type of horror where like the bad guy is constantly changing, and some are scarier than others, and that has so when you're playing that gimmick, you have to be aware of that. Like each time it has to either be equal to or greater than the last incarnation of the villain or bad guy. I mean, there is still something fun about the disgusting old guy with the bowel problems transferring himself into the stripper, who now it's like the hot stripper with the peekaboo ass window, and then her becoming a dog. But then after that, they're not as the choice. What the alien becomes isn't as fun or interesting. It's more just kind of driven by the plot. Well, like we need the alien to be a cop to get into the
police station,
get into the police station, or get into the senator's gala. So it has more to do with moving the story forward, and not just like, because that's what sort of makes that the first 2 guys fun, is because they're not. It's just sort of like a display of pure chaos. They're just going. They're like these kind of suburban middle-aged nerds or old guys who are just like going crazy and listening to hardcore metal and stealing cassettes and.
They should have gotten like for the last guy, like instead of casting that guy who plays the whatever, like the cop, the detective who gets possessed at the end, they should have gone.
There's 2, because like there's the one who owns the dog, and he's sort of like a higher up at the police station, and then there's when he dies, the alien goes into another cop, and he's more of like. He was one of the cops that was sort of working alongside Michael Norrie.
That's the guy who I mean. That guy, like instead of casting that guy, they should have cast like a really big guy, like a really big, like muscular huge guy, and then just kind of like had this guy, killing people with his bare hands or something,
Right.
one of the greatest, I mean, probably the greatest and most memorable police station siege of all time is the one in the first Terminator.
Right.
But then like also there's also the Maniac Cop 2 one, which I think is almost as good. And very,
Watch
very,
that one.
say again?
We should watch that.
Yeah. Maniac Cop 2 is just surprisingly like, well put together, and just has so much great stuff going on in it. But and I actually think probably it's William Lustig's best movie, like just all things considered. But
it's also interesting that that last cop that gets possessed, I think he's like on the cover of he's on the he's prominently on the poster or on the VHS box.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you look up the poster, it's like it's sort of like a divided face, and like half the face is his face, I think.
Let's take a look. Oh yeah.
So it's like it's interesting that that they choose this guy to be
the face of the movie.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Maybe he was like a big investor in the
yeah.
Maybe he's friends with Shoulder. Is that his name, the director?
Yeah, that's the that is the theatrical poster. They kind of they got it together, and they for I guess the VHS release, and they had something more kind of like this, which I think is far better.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, 4 out of 5 for me.
I guess this movie didn't do very well when it came out.
Good enough to get a part 2. Look at that poster. That's cool.
Well, the oh yeah, that is really good.
Yeah.
The part 2 didn't come out until like 20 years later.
The part 2 came out,
and it's not the same director.
No.
It has none of the original cast.
No. But they do that thing like Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, where they just like play a shit ton of of the original film. Like,
is that what they do in Hidden? They show all the just clips from the original.
Exactly. It's a tragedy, and they just don't capture the fucking all the things that are good about this movie. They're just not equipped.
I'm sure, like everybody. I mean, if they're doing that, like everybody in the original movie probably is getting a paycheck. So I guess good for them.
They'd have to. The Hidden 2 is not really worth talking about. There's some, like the alien lays eggs and there's baby aliens and stuff, and they're not badly done, but I don't know. It's just not nearly as fun. A lot of really what makes the movie fun is the Nuri McLaughlin sort of team.
Oh yeah, they're both great. Like I was actually like, man, Michael Nuri should have been doing more stuff. Like I could like more cop movies or something.
Every time that he probably was up for a role, Chris Sarandon went and took it, because Chris Sarandon is basically just the same guy. There's another thing. Oh yeah, another thing too is that like if you compare this movie to Shocker, there's a lot of overlap in terms of like just how it plays, like just a guy jumping bodies. They actually, I think that Shocker gets a lot more mileage out of like who the Shocker is like inhabiting. There actually is like a part, and there even is like a very big metal component in in Shocker as well, because it has a super group called the Dudes of Wrath. That's I think like Paul Stanley and like a bunch of other musicians come together and just made like this group, this ad hoc metal group to do like kind of hair metal songs just only for Shocker.
So I have zero memory of Shocker, other than it has Agent Skinner in it from X-Files.
Yeah,
and that I feel like it must. have a memory of it being like 2.5 hours long.
It's probably
Crazy.
not. It's probably not that long. There's no way it could be that.
Like
long.
I just remember it being like longer, way longer than it needed to be.
Yeah. Well, there's a.
But like The Hidden was like always something that like stuck with me like ever since I've seen it. Like I've always just like whenever anybody brings it up, I'm like, oh yeah, that movie's great.
Yeah. Well, that's probably just because
I don't remember it all.
You saw it when you were younger. Did you see Shocker when it came out too?
No, I didn't see it until like much later.
Yeah, I saw Shocker when it came out. So obviously Shocker's going to stay with me more. But like they do the thing where like the Shocker goes into like a kid, and then you have a kid being like "fuck you, motherfucker," and you're kind of like, "Oh, cool," the kid's swearing, and then it goes to like a big.
I need to rewatch.
It goes to a big construction worker guy, like a huge big bowling ball armed like construction worker guy, who's able to overpower it like that. So it's just kind of they're getting some good mileage out of this whole possession conceit that's happening with the film. But they never do like a sexy lady. They like the stripper thing was a good idea for The Hidden.
Like it's fun.
All things considered, I'd rather watch The Hidden than Shocker. There's a lot more. There's a certain like kind of fun aspect to The Hidden that's not present in Shocker. I mean, Shocker is also a very fun movie, but just the idea that the alien's just doing this for fun is sort of, it's kind of. I don't know what it is, but I like it. There's something about that I really like.
The Hidden looks good. Like they're like the chase scenes are good. Everybody looks good. Everybody's wearing, and like there's like it felt like at the time too, it felt like more like the fact that the guy's going into a record store, like it felt very in tune with that period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And driving around Los Angeles at that time too was like, like Los Angeles plays a sort of a big role in the film as well, and I think that also adds to the enjoyment.
Yeah, that's true. The city is what, like, there's lots of good coverage of the city. I think that movie was only like a $4.5 million movie. It really goes to show like what $4.5 million gets you in 1987 versus what it gets you now.
Very reminiscent. Like I was also like, as I was watching it, I was thinking a lot about RoboCop as well, and Terminator. Like it has all these sort of, I guess like sci-fi cop movie, 80s cop movie vibes.
Mm. Well, there you have it, everyone. We talked about The Hidden. We like it.
You're welcome.
That's it. We're done.